Alright, so Albatross. I came up with this flourish in 2013, where we were coming up with moves for our video Wheels Within Wheels. So we were trying to come up with some really cool moves to put in that video. It's called Albatross because of the big movements that's in the flourish. So it kind of reminds me of like a really big bird like Albatross, and that single card in a way resembles like a wing, you could say. The flourish is based on a very simple concept of just sort of pinching a card here and then just moving a packet over that card and on top like so. And I came up with that separately, and I was really fascinated by that concept, but it took a while for me to figure out how to get into the position, and also to do it with a scissor cut. But once I sort of ended up in this position, I just knew that it was one of the cuts that was going to be featured in the video Wheels Within Wheels. So yeah, let's take a closer look at Albatross. Alright, so to do Albatross, you want to begin by breaking into a C grip, and then you want to re-grip the middle packet by moving your middle finger up here and then your thumb here, so you're holding it on the short edges here. The way that I do it is by moving forwards and then re-gripping here underneath, and this hand is just sort of on top here. And then you want to rotate your hands like so. So this your right hand rotates downwards and your left hand rotates upwards. And then you want to push out a single card using your index finger as you do that rotation. And then steal or clip that card with your thumb here. And notice that when you take it, it's kind of at an angle. But to straighten up the card, you just want to rotate it a little bit on your thumb down here, so that it gets into a straight angle like so. And then from here, you want to move back, rotate your hands back like so. And as you do that, you want to re-grip the packet into a normal scissor cut, and then you'll end up in this position. So from this position here with a scissor cut and a card clipped on your thumb here, you want to open up the scissor cut and break off a packet on your thumb here. And now notice here that the packet I just broke off is sort of in between this packet and that single card. So you don't want to apply too much pressure backwards here on your thumb, otherwise you'll sort of push that single card out. So you want to keep it kind of a light grip here. And then from this position, you want to move forwards with your hand, here your right hand, and let the packet go all the way through. And what I like to do is I like to move my index finger in here a little bit, not quite like this, but just a little bit as you go through. And then drop the packet or close the scissor cut packet as you move all the way forward here with your right hand. And notice that this packet now clears both the single card and the packet here, and just kind of goes on top. It goes through. Let me just do that one more time. It goes through here, and then you can see it clears, and it's a very light grip. You're relying quite a lot on gravity here. And from this position, you want to push the packet in with your thumb and move your middle finger into this gap here to receive the packet. And your index finger here can help on top. Notice that the thumb goes on this side of the card. It doesn't push it in. It just goes on this side as it pushes or squares up the these two packets here. Grip it in a scissor cut position, squaring it up perfectly. And now notice your thumb is down here holding this single card. And then the closing part here is just by moving backwards with your thumb, applying pressure upwards so that the card follows. And then you just grip it with your middle finger here. And you can just pull it out and close the cut, but what I like to do is just do the scissor cut and then rotate the card around your thumb and just place it on top like so. So some tips on Albatross. The flow is very important of this cut, and also keeping everything square or close together because of the big movements that's in the cut. So here in the beginning, when you open up here, you want to make sure that the transition from here, because right now it's just two separate things, they're not really dependent on each other. So here, whenever you move into this position, you don't want to separate them like this and then do the move. What I like to do is almost keep them touching, or this single card touch your thumb the whole time, but not quite, because there's a slight gap right there where they're separated, but make sure that it stays very close together. Right here, I like to make sure that this scissor cut goes very far in like this, and then as you split it off here and move forwards, I like that movement of both the single card and the scissor cut packet moving forwards like this. So it kind of unites both that one single card movement and then the scissor cut, which is kind of an add-on to that concept, like so. Now, whenever you're squaring up the two packets, it's very important that that you keep everything very sort of loosely together, because if you apply too much pressure somewhere, that single card will fall out. And also, when it comes over like so, it doesn't square up immediately. It's only when you actually re-grip, when you let go here with your middle finger and you just kind of square everything together into a scissor cut. So everything falls together right at the last moment and not right away. So here they're still not square, and then it's right here when everything sort of falls together. So keep that in mind whenever you're practicing Albatross.
Swiss knife. This is a 3-packet cut. It's quite simple, and you can actually divide it into two parts, the opener and the closer. I created the opener a long time ago, and then I came up with the closer, the second part, later on when Tobias and I were preparing moves for our video Wheels Within Wheels. The opener revolves around a weird grip where you have a packet between these two joints here. And it's a lot of fun. You can do the closer after a lot of two-handed cuts, for example after Sybil. But let's just take a closer look at Swiss knife. Okay, so to do Swiss knife, you want to start off by riffling through the deck and hold back 1/5 of the pack, around 1/5. Now you're going to place that packet in between these two fingers, these two joints here. This one and this one, just like so. And as you place them, this packet there, you're going to split off the top packet, split that in two, and position this packet like so. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to do this rotation in your dominant hand, and at the same time do the classic Sybil movement. And then you're going to place this 7 of clubs packet on top and align these two edges here. So once again, you riffle, position it between the two joints, split the top packet in two, straddle that grip, get a straddle grip here on the middle packet. Now you want to move this thumb to the corner here, to this corner. That way you can do the rotation. So you want to do the rotation and at the same time move the middle packet on top. So it'll look like this. You're going to do the rotation, move the middle packet on top, and notice how my dominant hand turns palm down. Just like that. Then these two packets aligned over here using your ring finger. They align, and you're in this position. Now the ring finger here in this dominant hand is going to grip this edge, this long edge over here. It's gonna reach all the way, and you're gonna place that corner between the pinky and the ring finger, and that way you can strip out that packet. But you also need to get rid of this small packet from the beginning. So after you've done both of those movements, and you've aligned those two packets, the ring finger goes all the way up here, and right when the ring finger touches this long edge, the other ring finger and pinky are gonna grip this 5 of diamonds packet right here. So you do both of those movements. You strip out this packet, goes from the top to the bottom, and the ring finger and pinky grabs the King of Hearts packet. Now that packet falls into a straddle grip, and you want to keep everything very compact, and the thumb then goes up here and touches this short edge. From here you want to, as I said, grip this upper short edge here, and then move away your middle finger, take over that grip with the thumb. Now this top packet is being held by the two thumbs, and now the index finger can go to this short edge of the middle packet, and the pinky can straddle grip this middle packet, like so. So you move this out, you get that straddle grip, and now these two fingers, the ring and the middle finger, are gonna let go. They're not gonna grip this packet, because that middle packet is gonna rotate a little bit into sort of a deeper straddle grip. So it's gonna rotate like that using the top packet. So as you can see, I'm using the top packet just to rotate that packet a tiny bit, and then you want to move the pinky, this pinky goes up to this thumb. So you're in this grip, this position, get the straddle grip of the middle packet, move these two fingers out of the way, use the top packet to rotate it just a little, and then the thumb connects, and notice how the top packet also rotates face up actually, and then the thumb goes and connects with the pinky like this. Then you can rotate that 8 of Hearts packet until the two short edges align, and you do that by clipping with the pinky and the thumb clipping that packet, and then you can move this thumb out of the way and use the other thumb to connect these two packets, and then you're going to be in this position, and then you can just place everything on bottom like so. things you want to pay attention to when you do Swiss knife is, well, first off, the first rotation. This grip is kind of weird, so I suggest that you get this down just on its own. Just this thing, just get that rotation down. Practice that a bit, and notice how this index finger of my dominant hand moves down. So I really extend my hand all the way, because then I make sure that there's enough room for my thumb to pass by the index finger, just like that. So I suggest you practice that before combining it with the other movement of the opposite hand. And I really want to make sure that both of these rotations or movements happen at the same time. So it kind of looks like two packets move around the middle packet. And also this first movement is the reason why this flourish is called Swiss knife, because I kind of think it looks like a blade of a knife. So you do both of those movements at the same time. Now here there's a tiny pause, because you need to regrip both of the packets, and that can be quite difficult, especially gripping this one. So you do both regrips, strip this out, and remember to keep everything very compact at this point. So you don't want to strip this out and do like this. You want to keep your thumb right next to the short edge. So look at my thumb, it stays there and takes over that grip. Now the closer here is quite knacky in the beginning. When you start to practice it, I would suggest that you keep an eye on this straddled packet, the middle one here, because it's doing just a small rotation like so. It's just being placed in here, and as I said, don't use these two fingers. They should just be out of the way here. And you want to use the top packet to sort of rotate the middle packet a little bit, and then you want to turn that face up, as you can see, just by contacting your thumb and pinky finger. And then sometimes it lands here, and then you can just finish the alignment with the thumb here. And sometimes it just lands right here, and you're ready to collapse these two packets just by resting this two of spades packet on the pinky finger, as you can see down here. Just rests on this pinky. And yeah, then you just collapse these two and place everything on bottom right after. And that's a few tips on Swiss knife.
Ventrilo. I came up with this cut in 2013, and it's called Ventrilo because it reminds me of a ventriloquist, because there's packets within the cut that sort of influence each other. So I think the name is very fitting for the mechanics of this cut. It has a lot of unique grips, and the flow is also very interesting. So I had a lot of trouble coming up with a closure for this cut because of how different the mechanics and the grips are. But yeah, let's take a closer look at Ventrilo. So to do Ventrilo, you want to begin in an elevated straddle grip position, and then break into a C grip where the two bottom packets are a bit smaller than the top one. Then you want to move the bottom packet out with using your pinky here, or actually you're kind of rotating your entire hand. And you don't want to end up in this kind of position. You just want to move it out a little bit, making it a lot easier for your thumb to come up here to the short edge and take over that index finger's grip. And then as you do that, you want to split off another packet with your index finger up here. And then you want to move forwards so that this packet rotates forwards, and then you want to move this packet down into your hand so that kind of rotates backwards, so you get this opposite rotation situation. And then as you move forwards here, your index finger down here is going to contact this packet's short edge down here, right next to your thumb. So you just want to move down here, and then you want to strip out that middle packet and then move backwards and drop it on top of this one. And that's the opener for Ventrilo. So from this position you want to move your middle finger, your ring finger and your pinky down here and grip the packet between those three fingers and your thumb. And then execute a Shalia cut down here and turn this packet face up and over into the Shalia cut. And then once it's in the Shalia cut, you want to push up with your index finger and move the thumb cut packet, the King of Diamonds packet here, out with your thumb. And then you'll end up in kind of a display situation here. What's going to happen next is you want to rotate the two inner packets in opposite directions, squaring them up simultaneously. And what's also going to happen is you're going to turn them over. Now your right hand is going to do the turning over part by turning over, and your left hand here with your index finger is going to rotate this packet. So it's going to look like this. And the way that you do that is by rotating this, and then the packet kind of slides here on this short edge here on this packet, as you can see. And you really want to think of it as this hand, of course, rotating that packet, but doing most of the turning around. And it's sort of an interplay between those two movements of rotating and turning over that makes both of the packets rotate and square up at the same time. The 4 of spades packet here, in my case, hits the pinky at this point, and then once it's there, you can just easily square them up and place them here. Now from this position you want to move your index finger, your right hand index finger here, down to the short edge and then execute a thumb cut, and then just place this packet into the cut and just close the cut like so. So when you're doing Ventrilo here in the beginning, it's very important to make sure that this first movement and the second movement fits together. Because here in the beginning, this packet moves backwards and this one moves forwards, or rotates backwards and forwards in this way. And then here, sort of the same thing happens again, where these packets sort of rotate together. So this one moves forwards and this one moves backwards, so that if you make it look right, you can sort of have a back and forth sort of movement here in the beginning, and then it fits nicely together with the next part, which is also sort of two packets rotating against each other. So they're like three rotations which go against each other. So from this position here, this is probably the hardest part of the cut, and you really want to pay close attention to what's going on here. Where you position your index finger is kind of important. It has to be in the center, and the further out to this long edge here you place it, the less control you have, but the more of the packet you can see whenever you do the rotation. I hold my index finger just a little bit below the center here, just so that it's sort of a nice mix between showing off the rotation and also having a lot of control. The closer you can do from here, what sometimes I just drop this packet in here and just close the cut. I've come up with a lot of different ways of closing it, some way more complicated than others, but this new one where you just kind of do this movement sort of fits into the flow nicely and is the one that I prefer the most, but you can come up with your own closer if you want to, of course.
Tailor-made. This is also a 3-packet cut, and it was also created for our video Wheels Within Wheels in 2013. Now the mechanics behind this flourish are quite straightforward. They're not that difficult to get down, but the smaller details or the subtleties are what will make this cut look tailor-made. So let's learn it. Alright, so this is how you do tailor-made. Start off by getting into a C grip, where the bottom packet is a bit bigger than the two others, just like so. And then you're going to rotate the middle packet. You can use your thumb as support, and the short edge here is going to be held by the middle finger and ring finger, and the thumb of this hand is going to contact and grip the packet like so. Then this thumb of your dominant hand goes up to the other short edge, so now the face-up middle packet is being held between your two thumbs. From here you're going to use this index finger to slide the top packet along these two packets, on top of these two packets, until it gets all the way down here and touches the other index finger, down here. You're still holding the face-up Queen of Hearts packet between the two thumbs, and then you want to extend the bottom packet out like so, as if you were doing a scissor cut. So you're going to open that up and then place, you're going to rotate this face down packet, and you're going to sort of clip the top here between the middle and the index. So when you get to here, you're holding it kind of clipped. And you also want to make sure that the face-up Queen of Hearts packet is positioned right here, right around this part of your palm. Now the Two of Spades packet rotates all the way and gets placed in here. It collapses, and those two packets connect. And notice how this middle finger is positioned right here. That's very important to do the next rotation, because now the index finger of your dominant hand here is going to push in or push up, and that'll make the base packet here rotate. And notice how it slides along the face-up packet. So I'm using that face-up packet to slide and to sort of align this base packet, and then it's going to be rotated and land just like so. Then you can let go of this thumb And notice how I'm holding this packet. Notice this grip. It's very important. The middle finger is curled in, the thumb is on top, and the ring finger is on bottom, also slightly curled. And this position is kind of similar to an open Charlier cut. As I said before, you can move this thumb away and then immediately collapse these two packets. Just close it, and you're still in this position. And then you want to make sure that the deck itself is kind of parallel to the middle finger here. And then you want to slide it on the hand and then curl in that middle finger. And then extend this middle finger, because then you're basically gonna do this rotation around the thumb. So you're in this position here. You slide it along the hand, curl in your middle finger, do the rotation around the thumb, index takes over, and the thumb here finishes off the rotation. And that's tailor-made. Okay, so a few tips on tailor-made. The flow is very important for this flourish. You want to make sure that it sort of, in the beginning, goes backwards and then forwards, then rolls backwards, like so, and then ends with a forwards motion. You want to keep that in mind when you practice and perform tailor-made. When you are in this position, where the middle packet face up, you want to make sure that the middle and bottom packet are overlapping, like so. If the face-up packet is positioned out here, the sliding packet is going to contact your palm, and that's going to stop the movement, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure they're overlapping, and as I said before, open up the bottom packet here as if you're doing a scissor cut, just like so, and clip the packet here using your middle finger and index finger. That's quite important. You can use the face-up 8 of spades packet as support to sort of let that fall. And now make sure that you keep your middle finger right here, because the base packet is going to rotate around the middle finger, and you're going to use the face-up packet to square these two packets up, to square this base packet, and then it's just going to fall, and you're still keeping your pinky finger out here, and it's just going to fall into the correct position. It's just going to land automatically, And as soon as you get into this position, you're going to move this thumb out of the way and use the other thumb to collapse these two packets, to close it together, and then get into the final movement. So it's going to slide, land there, immediately close those two, and then you're in this grip, which is kind of weird. Index finger curled underneath, middle finger down here, thumb on top. Middle finger is also curled, and as soon as you start to extend the middle finger and clip the packet with these two fingers, it's gonna rotate around the thumb, and that's what's gonna happen at the end of Tailor-made. So it's sliding, lands here, collapse, you're in this position, and you just move it, slide it along the hand, and turn that packet, or turn the whole deck around your thumb. And that's a few tips on Tailor-made.